Up to this point, everything your body has done to fight infection has been fast, but general. It reacts quickly, but it doesn't remember. So what happens when your body needs to recognize a specific pathogen, target it precisely, and respond even faster the next time? That's where the third line of defense comes in. Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Learning Biology with Dr. Vanessa, where I take difficult biological concepts and make them easy to understand. In this video, we're diving into adaptive immunity, a powerful, highly specific system that not only eliminates pathogens, but also remembers them for the future. The third line of defense, also called adaptive or specific immunity, is carried out by two main cell types: B lymphocytes or B cells, T lymphocytes or T cells. These cells are unique because they exhibit specificity, which is that they target specific pathogens. They have memory, which allows them to respond faster upon re-exposure, and immunocompetence, which is that ability to recognize a specific antigen. During development is where they gain those receptors that allow them to recognize that one specific antigen. An antigen or immunogen is any substance that can trigger an immune response. Good immunogens are large, complex, foreign to the body, while poor immunogens are small, simple, and similar to host molecules. An epitope is the specific portion of an antigenic molecule that a B or T cell responds to, making it the exact site of immune recognition. Haptens are small molecules that cannot trigger an immune response on their own, but can become immunogenic when attached to a larger carrier. Examples of haptens include drugs and metals. The development and function of adaptive immunity occurs in a series of coordinated stages that prepare lymphocytes to recognize and respond to specific antigens. First, lymphocytes are produced and mature in primary lymphoid organs. B cells mature in the bone marrow, while T cells mature in the thymus. During this maturation process, they become immunocompetent, meaning each cell develops receptors that can recognize a specific antigen. Next, those mature but naive B and T cells migrate to secondary lymphoid tissues, such as the lymph nodes, spleen, and other lymphatic structures, where they are more likely to encounter antigens. When an antigen enters the body, it is processed and presented by antigen-presenting cells. This allows the appropriate lymphocytes to recognize the antigen and become activated. Following activation, lymphocytes undergo clonal selection and expansion, rapidly dividing to produce large numbers of identical cells. These differentiate into effector cells, which actively respond to the infection, and memory cells, which provide long-term immunity. These cells give rise to two major types of adaptive immunity. B cells are responsible for humoral immunity, which involves the production of antibodies that circulate in body fluids, while T cells are responsible for cell-mediated immunity, which involves directly attacking infected or abnormal cells and coordinating immune responses. All cells in the bodies have a variety of surface markers, which are molecules located on the cell membrane that allow cells to be identified, recognized, and able to communicate with other cells. These markers act like ID tags, helping the immune system distinguish between self and non-self, and playing a critical role in activating and coordinating immune responses. One of the most important groups of these markers is the major histocompatibility complex, or MHC. MHC molecules are specialized proteins on cell surfaces that display antigen fragments to immune cells, allowing them to detect the presence of infection or abnormal cells. There are three main classes of MHC molecules: MHC class 1, which is found on all nucleated cells, and they present antigens to cytotoxic T cells and signal when a cell is infected or abnormal. MHC class 2 is found on antigen-presenting cells such as macrophages and dendritic cells. These present antigens to helper T cells, helping activate the immune response. And MHC class 3 includes genes involved in inflammation and the complement system rather than direct antigen presentation. Let's talk a bit about B and T cell receptors. B cells have receptors that bind free antigens. B cells can also be activated by helper T cells, while T cells only recognize antigens when they are presented on host cells using MHC complexes. When a B or T cell encounters its specific antigen and it binds using its receptors, it is going to be activated. It would then undergo clonal selection, and then it rapidly divides and produces identical cells. This creates effector cells, which are going to help fight the infection that is going on right then, and it also creates memory cells, which are going to provide long-term immunity. There are 3 main functional types of T cells, each playing a distinct role in the immune response. Helper T cells act as the coordinators of the immune system. They release chemical signals called cytokines that activate and direct other immune cells, including B cells and cytotoxic T cells. Cytotoxic T cells are responsible for directly killing infected or abnormal cells, such as virus-infected cells, cancer cells, and transplanted cells. Regulatory T cells help control and suppress immune responses, preventing excessive damage to the body and maintaining immune balance. In contrast, B cells are responsible for humoral immunity. When activated, they differentiate into plasma cells, which produce antibodies that circulate in body fluids. These antibodies bind to antigens, helping to neutralize pathogens and mark them for destruction or neutralization. One of the most remarkable features of the adaptive immune system is its ability to recognize an enormous variety of antigens. Each B cell and T cell is equipped with receptors specific to a single unique antigen. However, the body contains trillions of different lymphocytes, each one with a different specificity, allowing the immune system to recognize up to 10 trillion different antigens. This incredible diversity is generated through genetic recombination and variation during lymphocyte development, ensuring that the body is prepared to respond to virtually any pathogen it may ever encounter. So now we understand how the immune system recognizes and prepares to fight specific pathogens. But how do these cells actually eliminate infection? In this video, we covered the foundations of adaptive immunity, how your body recognizes specific threats and prepares a targeted response. In the next video, we'll bring this to life by exploring more in detail how those B and T cells actually respond, how antibodies work, and how your body builds long-term immunity through vaccination. If you found the content of this video helpful, please make sure to subscribe, give this video a like, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out on new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.